So at first, it was just frustration, right? I mean, how can people honestly be this fucking stupid? But not long after, that frustration actually turned into just adorable. That's the best word I can use when I think of all the individuals that tried to turn a negative into a positive. Like Ronda Rousey and Becky Lynch not being able to take the stage this Sunday at Survivor Series. So everyone tried to turn a negative into a positive. BC, I'm now hearing it's gonna be WrestleMania, Becky and Ronda. So see, this was a blessing in disguise. Now I'm even hearing we're up in the ante. They're raising the stakes. Now we're hearing BC, Ronda and Becky will now close out the show at WrestleMania. They're gonna be the main event. All of these adorable pipe dreams. Because that's all they are. They're pipe dreams. Another spoke on the wheel of the rumor mill. You guys know what I like to deal with most on this channel. What is it? It's facts. I love dealing with facts. Not opinions and not rumors. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one and they're usually full of shit. Those are opinions. Rumors are completely useless to me unless there's very, very, very epic amount of substance to the rumor. Then we will talk about it for sure. Some rumors actually have substance. When you're talking about the obvious, Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey will absolutely take on each other in the future. We don't know when. They could find out a way at TLC to do this. They could do this at the Royal Rumble. They could do this at Fastlane, knowing Vince McMahon. They could absolutely do this at WrestleMania. It could, out of nowhere, become the main event. But if you think for 1 second that as of today, that's Vince McMahon's plans, then you don't know Vince McMahon, you don't know the WWE, and you know nothing about the business that is the WWE and or Vince McMahon, and what he's trying to accomplish, and what's going through his head. Because that is not the plan. I'm sorry to burst your fucking bubbles. But it's just not. This is a pipe dream that stemmed from people just automatically assuming we're gonna get the match anyway, which even I'm assuming that, but assuming this, assume, that word means you make an ass out of you and me. That's how you spell out assume. An ass out of you and me. That's what happens when we assume. But I think we all can agree that's where the money's at. But if you think for 1 second that that's set in stone at WrestleMania, it's just not the case. And everybody's running with this rumor, this story. And this was probably a Meltzer fucking rumor. And now everybody's running with it. And now all the posters are already being made online. You know, not official, obviously. Far from official. But you see all these... It's taken on a life of its own. And you don't know that's the case. You're all gonna have... Your expectations will be fucking taken out from underneath you. You're all gonna have your bubbles bursted. And you're all gonna have your fucking dreams shattered when you find out it's at Fastlane. Or in the middle of a Raw and a SmackDown. They'll find a way to have the Raw champion taking on the SmackDown champion. Who the fuck knows? But knowing Vince, I put nothing past him anymore. My point is this. We can get excited over the thought of it, but people going around and saying it's a foregone conclusion, that's where the problem lies. Because even if today, which it's not the truth because there's no facts to back this up, but even if that was Vince's plan to put them at WrestleMania, what the fuck makes you think Vince and WWE can even get a match 5 months away to WrestleMania? WWE has done nothing to prove that they can do that. So even if that was the plan, you honestly think Vince can get it 5 months and still have people fucking interested? And that brings me to B. Number 2. What makes you think this is going to be as hot in April of 2019 as it was right now? You can't guarantee that. You could say BC, Becky's only getting hotter and hotter, okay, but the way they book her, and creatively speaking, injury, anything can happen where this is nothing near what it was for this Sunday. The emotion and the excitement that we had. And we're supposed to carry that till April. These are the same people that wanted us to hold off on Daniel Bryan and The Miz for another 7-8 months. No, at that point, I think it was 8 or 9 months. From SummerSlam. Hold off on that and wait till next year's WrestleMania. That was the dumbest fucking decision you could have made. That was the time to strike gold. The feud was bumping. They were the talk of the town. You do it then, while it's hot. And if you want, if done correctly, it could be just as hot a second time a year from now, 2 years from now, who knows? But that was the time to strike gold. This was the time to strike gold for Ronda and Becky. It was the talk of the town. It was taking over anything Brock was doing, anything that AJ Styles was doing, anything that the 5-on-5 Raw and SmackDown teams were doing for the men and females. It was that match that was main eventing. And now everyone's going, this is a blessing in disguise. Now we get it in April. 5 months. How are they going to keep this fucking that exciting for 5 months? Let me tell you a story about Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. This was a boxing competition, so if you're not into boxing, you probably don't even know who these names are, or you don't give a shit. But this was a fight that we wanted to see for the longest time. And when they were about to strike gold and it was the hottest it could be, they couldn't come to an agreement. So they win a second time. And we were still interested, but nothing near the first time. And then the second time, it just didn't happen again for some reason. So the third time, we were still into it, but way less than the first and second time. My point is, it decreased as the months went by, and for Floyd and Manny Pacquiao, that was years, actually. But as the months went by, it started to become more and more lackluster in our dome pieces. We started to care less and less. We're all giddy now and excited because WrestleMania, that's the grand stage, we all think, right? And we're all giddy and excited because we still have Ronda and Becky fresh in our minds and we want to see it. But in 5 months, there's no telling where this company is going to be. There's no telling what Ronda Rousey's transition is going to be, where Becky Lynch's character is in 5 months. You can fantasy book in your brain all you want for the future on any given day, on any given moment. It's adorable because it's right now that we're talking about something. So even though it's a year from now, 6 months from now, in our dome pieces, it all makes sense because we're thinking about it right now. That's adorable. But it's not real life. I hate to shatter your dreams, but I'm the dream shatterer, and that's what I'm going to do. Things are going to be different in 5-6 months from now, guys. They just are. We still could get Ronda and Becky at WrestleMania. Absolutely, we could. But don't expect the same excitement. Or don't force it if it's not organic. If you don't feel the same way you did this week and last week about this match in April, don't feel bad. It's not just you, it's all of us. You can't force that type of a feeling. If that match is announced for WrestleMania, we're going to try to feel it in February and March. We're going to try to get as excited as we were, but it might not be there. And that's a shame. This is not a blessing in disguise. This was Ronda and Becky Survivor Series, probably going to be the main event from what I was hearing. They were going to actually kick off AJ and Brock, or now Brock and Bryan. That was the time. And it wouldn't have mattered if Becky Lynch lost, I promise you guys. In defeat, superstars like Becky Lynch will actually come out of this bigger and badder and better than ever before. When Stone Cold lost at WrestleMania 13, he was the talk of the town against Bret Hart, and he lost. When Hulk Hogan lost against the Ultimate Warrior at WrestleMania 6, Hogan says the story best when he was going back up the rampway in one of those little fucking ring things. He was going up, and everybody was watching him. Or no, that was actually when he fucking... when he went up the aisle. That was WrestleMania 6. He went up the aisle, and everybody was watching him. And instead of the Warrior, who just won the championship. They were all watching Hogan, and Hogan said he knew that his stock just went up. He knew that he was still the talk of the town, and then he lost. Because even though as hot as the Warrior was striking gold at that time in the industry, Hulk Hogan was still the guy. Becky would have still been the man even if she lost at Survivor Series. Everybody keeps saying that's a blessing in disguise. She would have lost at Survivor Series. Maybe there's a chance she'll win at WrestleMania. If you honestly think Vince McMahon is going to have his golden child, one of his two, with Charlotte Flair, for the females, Ronda Rousey, in her first big fucking, that's going to be her biggest title defense, let's be honest, whenever she does face Becky Lynch, most likely. If you think Vince is going to have her lose that, again, you don't know Vince and you don't know the WWE. You're fooling yourself. You're not thinking about the past. So in your world, you've created a scenario where Becky and Ronda will take on each other at WrestleMania. You now have this in the main event where there's no facts to back that up. And you also have Becky Lynch beating Ronda. It's all adorable, but that's all shit that Vince would not do. So I didn't just come on here, make this video just to shatter your dreams, to be clear. I'm just trying to give you guys the truth. And again, I know that's hard to take in, but these are rumors. That's all that is. Don't be surprised if you see this match at like a fucking Fastlane or some shit. Will they find a way to get Ronda and Becky together? I see a horsewoman versus horsewoman feud kicking off even before they go one-on-one. And if that's the case, then we've already kind of seen them mix it up. So then it's really not as relevant as it would have been at Survivor Series. I already know where this is going. I know I'm not going to have the same excitement when Becky takes on Ronda at WrestleMania. I don't give a shit if it becomes the main event than I did at Survivor Series. This was the time we needed to strike gold. It's adorable that they're going to keep on this feud, and we're going to get that match eventually, and I'm still going to look forward to it. But that excitement, just because you're giving me the name WrestleMania, it's not going to fucking make it any more exciting. In fact, I'm probably going to be not as intrigued anymore. The time has passed. Seasons go by, and there's new shit that's happening. There's transitions that's happening, and in WWE, they happen rapidly. So again, even if that is Vince's plan to put him at WrestleMania, which again, no facts to back that up, anything could change in Vince's dome piece. A new flavor of the month could come up, and Vince goes, I want to go with them. I think Charlotte and Ronda was probably going to be WrestleMania. He had to fast track that. That's going to be fucking Sunday. Maybe he does that again at WrestleMania, who knows? But my point is, he makes these rash decisions out of the blue. He could easily just put Asuka in there. Put a fucking substitute in there. A suitable fucking replacement. Have an NXT call-up go in there that people fucking know. But you could have had a lot of different options. But he decided to put fucking Charlotte. And that's what I mean. Anything can change Vince McMahon's mind. If there's an injury from somebody else, who's to say he doesn't put Ronda and Becky in that spot? We'll give them the match we were going to do at WrestleMania. My point is this. Don't get your hopes up for something that at this point is just a pipe dream. It is November. We have the rest of November, December, January, February, March, into April. That's up to 6 months away. Relax. You're booking a half a year from now to see a match we were going to see Sunday, and you think we're going to be just as excited. You think now Becky's going to win the match. What the fuck facts do you have to prove that? You think this is now going to be the main event. What facts do you have to prove that not only it's going to be the main event, but two, that there's still going to be the talks of the town 6 months from now? Vince is probably planning on Roman being back for Mania, probably, knowing Vince. And if you think Roman's not going to be in that main event, if so, please. If you think he's not going to have Brock main eventing, if Brock is at Mania, please. I had to drop this video because I'm seeing this everywhere I turn. And it no longer became rumor. It is now people are talking about this like this is facts. Wow, this is the greatest thing that could have happened. WrestleMania main event, I'm hearing. You hear that, Shelly? Yeah, Cassandra. I just got off the phone with Joey and he's saying the same thing. And now I'm hearing also it's official that Ronda's gonna lose to Becky. Wow, let me call up fucking Shelly again. What the fuck? These are rumors. Nothing. Vince McMahon didn't see this injury with Becky Lynch, hear about it, and then go, all right, we'll swap this. This is gonna be WrestleMania's main event. Done. You think Vince just planned out his next 6 months? 2 days, 3 days, 4 days after a fucking injury? Come on! Use your dome piece. The thing inside, that's a brain. You got the cells. Some people are smarter than others. Some are dumber than others, I understand. But you all got one thing in common. You got some brain cells. Use that shit. We don't know who Ronda's facing at WrestleMania. We don't know who Becky Lynch is facing at WrestleMania. Yes, that might make sense to a lot of people. That doesn't mean that's going to happen. And again, don't think that 6 months from now, we're going to have the same feeling that we were going to have this Sunday for Survivor Series. Certain things just captivate at the right time. It takes a lot of just the most natural, puristic things to happen in the eternity to bring everything together the way it was supposed to be. That's what happened for this Sunday. And then all of a sudden, wham, an injury just shattered that. We can't force that for WrestleMania. We can't force that same feeling. BC, maybe it'll be a bigger, better feeling at WrestleMania. Okay, WWE Creative has really shown that they can give us that type of a fucking story. 6 months from a half a fucking year. 2 more seasons. Winter, spring, into April. And finally we get to fucking WrestleMania. And then we're still talking 6 months later about Ronda and Becky. WWE will keep us that fucking intrigued. It's gonna take more than a Twitter war between Becky and Ronda on Twitter, on social media, to keep me engaged. On top of that, how the fuck you gonna do it? One's on SmackDown, one's on Raw. That brand split, that's gonna have to end if you wanna keep shit like that, matches like that intrigue us. You wanna keep that shit up? You're gonna have to bring those brands together someday. Because that's what I mean. How are you going to realistically, in front of your casual fan, in front of your mainstream fan, that doesn't really go a lot on social media, how are you going to keep them engaged on Becky and Ronda? WrestleMania is not a brand versus brand event, so how the fuck are you going to pull that shit? That's what I mean. You also got to be realistic. I have so many issues with this rumor, guys. It's a pipe dream. We're all thinking, yes, it makes sense. We're all thinking it would be cool. And because of that, it became reality, and it's not. So, stop with the fake news. Don't be stupid like everyone else. Let's wait and see where everybody goes from here. I doubt very much at this point Vince McMahon is even thinking about Ronda and Becky at Mania. And before I end this video, can I just say that the new rumor, this was definitely started by Meltzer. I saw the fucking quote, talking about AJ Styles and Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. And the reason Styles lost his championship to Bryan on a SmackDown after 371 days was to have a match with Brock at Mania. That makes absolute zero sense. What the fuck did you just say to me? 371-day title reign ends on a SmackDown just to go on to take on Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. For what? Why? We weren't looking forward to Brock and AJ Styles that fucking much. It was a cool little side fun match at Survivor Series, but we've already seen it. So you had to have a guy lose his championship just to have him go to WrestleMania to take on Brock. That makes no sense. This was from Dave Meltzer, and this was so loose. He just said he was a front runner, and everybody took that and ran with it. And now these fucking stupid so-called journalists on the dirt sheets are running that as one of their top stories now. With Becky and Ronda at WrestleMania. You also see now AJ Styles and Brock at WrestleMania. And what Meltzer said was, I don't know who they now have to take on Brock Lesnar. That's what he said. He says they're not going to bring on any old timers. There's not any left to bring on to take on Brock. They're not going to have fucking this guy, the other guy. I heard it might be Strowman, but now I'm hearing it's not going to be Strowman. That was a quote from Meltzer. And then he says, so right now I would think AJ is the front runner. That was it. He just named a bunch of guys and said, I think maybe AJ's the front runner. I heard Braun, but now I'm hearing maybe not. And all of a sudden the journalist started running with that story. And now everybody is honestly thinking Styles and Brock are going to take on each other at Mania. Is that a possibility? Of course. There's a possibility tonight I'm winning the lottery. I'm going to win Powerball tonight and become a multi-fucking millionaire. Of course it's a possibility. The likelihood? 0%. I'm sorry, if it's a possibility, it has to have 0.1%. Is that better? It's in the zeros. That's the percentage of that match actually happening at WrestleMania or me winning the lottery. And that's what I mean about these pipe dream rumors turning in and creating a life of their own. That rumor, I actually saw the exact source in the quote. And that said nothing that had any substance at all to AJ taking on Brock at Mania. But now, all of a sudden, the wrestling world is exploding with that match. This is why it was done. This match is happening. Nobody's stopping to think it makes 0 sense. Styles versus Brock Lesnar at Mania makes no sense. B, why the fuck would anybody want to see that? We were okay with seeing it at Survivor Series as a one main event with Ronda and Becky. That's one thing. But to put them at WrestleMania for no reason, I've already seen it. And then 3, you're thinking Vince McMahon did all that for 6 months from now's WrestleMania. And his big opponent for Brock Lesnar is AJ Styles? These are fucking rumors. Pipe dreams. Possible? Absolutely. All the fucking chips could fall the right way and Vince McMahon says, hey, we're doing this and this, and it ends up being fucking a reality. But it would have to be organically. You gotta listen to your crowd in January, in February. And if the tides have changed, and the seasons have changed, and fans are feeling a different way, or a superstar has captivated us, then guess what? Plans change. You can't possibly think 6 months before that something is going to happen. It's not. Get your minds out of WrestleMania. Everybody is so consumed with WrestleMania 6 months from now. And what you're doing is you're letting the WWE off the hook. Survivor Series still needs to deliver. TLC still needs to deliver. Royal Rumble needs to deliver. Fastlane needs to deliver. Every Raw and SmackDown in between. Don't just let them off the hook and go, WrestleMania is going to be big though, BC. That's the one I'm looking forward to. Vince better not fuck that one up. We better get Ronda and Becky. No, don't worry about WrestleMania. I assure you, Vince isn't strategically, honestly putting any input into that shit. There might be loose plans, but trust me, they're looser than my first fucking girlfriend. It ain't gonna happen. He's not thinking like that. With Vince McMahon, it has become day by day, and his loose plans will get flip-flopped and turned and changed at the drop of a hat. It's just the truth. Meanwhile, for 6 months, you're getting your hopes up, just to be shattered. I don't even know. My main message of this video, just know when there's a rumor that has 0 substance, and know when there's a rumor that has substance. And then you can think about it a little bit, but don't run with it when it's a half of a year away. When we still have 4 pay-per-views to fucking go to get there. Survivor Series, TLC, Royal Rumble, Fastlane. Then we start the build over to WrestleMania. And we're already filling out the card. I know that's exciting to a lot of people. Let's fill out the WrestleMania card. But how about we start that maybe January, the earliest, when we know more, when we see what's happening. Not the middle of November, guys, stemming from a fucking injury. The Amplified, man. We got a fun fucking week coming up. Obviously, tomorrow we're going to have the Survivor Series preview show. I'm going to run down the entire card, give you my most honest thoughts, right? I guess you could say fucking amplified thoughts, because I'm really going to think about every match as I'm going over them with you guys in front of this fucking camera, in front of you guys. And we're going to talk about how this card has drastically changed and my honest thoughts and opinions on it. Yes, opinions. I hate opinions. But I'll give you mine. And then, so that's going to be tomorrow, Saturday. Also, that night, they're running NXT TakeOver. So Sunday morning, Survivor Series morning, tune into the channel. I'm actually going to do an NXT TakeOver War Games. Not the good, the bad, and the ugly, but I will do a review and reaction show to NXT's TakeOver event. So I am actually going to cover, a lot of you guys always want me to do this, I'm going to cover NXT this Sunday morning, the morning of Survivor Series. I'm going to go over the entire NXT TakeOver War Games pay-per-view that's going to happen tomorrow night. That'll be Sunday morning. Obviously, Survivor Series Sunday night. So Monday, tune into the channel for the good, the bad, and the ugly. I always said the universe, the WWE gods, the wrestling gods, they always kind of align themselves. And for some reason, I get the most amplified for Survivor Series events. I'm not sure why that is. But tune in for the good, the bad, and the ugly on Monday. That's going to be huge. And then obviously the post-Raw for Survivor Series and the post-SmackDown for Survivor Series. That'll be that Monday and Tuesday. So my videos for them will be Tuesday morning and Wednesday morning. Are you keeping up? And then next Thursday is Thanksgiving. A lot of content creators are taking the day off. Not yours truly. I'm doing something really special, guys. And I'll fill you in as the days go on. But I'm going to have a special video out on Thanksgiving and on Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving. So all of next week, there'll be a fucking video. There'll be no day where there's not a fucking video on this channel. So keep checking. That's what I'm trying to say. Amplified, man. Much love and respect. Double fisting some Starbucks right now. Be good to each other today. Let's not raise too much chaos. Let's tone it down a little bit as we get ready for Survivor Series. Then we'll raise complete hell. But if somebody pisses you off today, be a little kinder. I don't know why I'm saying this. I'm kind of feeling a little nicer today. That's kind of odd. That might change in a few hours when I'm actually out in the real world. But if somebody fucks around with you or fucking, just, you know what, instead of giving them a Nia Jax stiff shot and being a fucking dick about it, just smile and fucking wave them off. That'll piss them off even more, I bet. Amplified, man. I'll check you guys tomorrow for the preview to Survivor Series. For now, check you later. Let's get a coffee, man.